Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 10 minutes.
Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything's gonna be alright. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
DK here with the Big B on our pre-show.
Hi there.
Both of us raspy voice and battling the yellow phlegm flu.
It's that time of year. It's especially when my kids go back to school, especially the little one, they bring home every disease under the sun.
I feel like since I got back from Nashville, like the wife's coughing a lot, and we're both going to work. We're fine, but me, it's my voice. It's here. It's there. It's gone. It's back. It's
right.
But hey, on that topic, are you going to get a booster, a COVID booster, or are you done?
No, I'm done. I've gotten 3 shots.
Yeah, me too.
And, the more that comes out about it, and I'm not an anti-vax person whatsoever, but the more that comes out about it, it's like, why am I going to go get another one? And I still have a chance of getting it anyway. It's just ridiculous now. At this point, it's
almost everyone I know, at least so they tell me, has gotten it. And I'm as far as I know, I haven't gotten it yet. I might have, but we're all here. We're all standing. It's
right.
Go ahead.
It's gotten to the point where, and I've said this many times, I believe we are past the pandemic stage. We're in the endemic stage, which is what the flu is, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's eventually going to get it. It's going to be one of those seasonal things, especially in the winter, as you're inside more, the windows are closed more, so you don't have as much air circulation. It's going to become one of those things where, you get sick, like, I got the flu. I got COVID. I got a cold. It's just one of those things now.
Right. And a certain amount of the population will get very sick, and most of us will be fine. But did you see, big breaking news. When I traveled in the States a couple of weeks ago, it was beautiful. No mask on the plane, no masks in the airport. Everything was normal. You still have the odd person of choice that is wearing their mask. But that stupid app is gone. So now we can cross the borders unvaccinated.
Oh, there you go.
And in Canada, you can fly without a mask and take a train without a mask and all that beautiful stuff that, and I don't want to go back because, the trip to Nashville, going to these hockey games, yada, yada, yada. Like, I'm willing to risk my health to do these things. And it's starting to feel normal.
Yeah, I here too. I mean, you see like you said, the odd person still wearing the mask or whatever, and that's fine. That's up to them. I don't care. But, for the most part, 99.9% of the population here is done with this.
Right.
We all understand that, herd immunity has kind of taken hold. The variants are much, much weaker than the original one that came out 2 years ago that was killing people. So, eventually everybody's going to get it at one point in time, just like everybody gets the flu at one point in time in their life. And, there will be a certain, like you said, a certain part of the population that'll get very, very sick, just like with the flu. but for the most part, people will get it and be fine. My neighbors have gotten it like 4 times. It's
Yeah, no, it happens. Hey, do you ever sit there though? I was thinking the other day, how surreal. I mean, we were broadcasting and we were covering it, and we were dining inside when we were outside and all that bullshit we did. But what a weird time it was, at
I
least in my lifetime.
I will tell you, and again, this is how the epicenters became. Where I lived was literally the epicenter of the world
Yeah,
for the virus at one point in time during 2020. So here is even worse because I mean, the streets were dead. I mean, there was nobody out on the streets. I remember driving out to Long Island on the highway. There was nobody on the highway. And that was during the time where it said 2 weeks to flatten the curve. So on the overhead sign, the overhead digital signs, you'd say, 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Masks save lives, kind of things you would see in this dystopian horror movies, right?
yeah, and don't forget Trudeau speaking moistly.
Oh, he did speak moistly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely surreal. It's a very, very weird time to have lived through, and still going through it because there's still restrictions in places.
But I almost really appreciate normal life again.
It's kind of like in my mind, it's like it's just like it's about time. It was done much later than it should have been done, but it's finally done that all these restrictions are lifted. So
I still think like like my kid, like he did his graduation, but it was weird. They were all wearing masks, but I mean, like his best years of high school, they spent in a basement. For me, I didn't really care most of the time. I actually enjoyed it, but
well, yeah, that was like my older son with 8th grade graduation. Everything was online.
Yeah.
So like the ceremony was literally he was sitting in his room online for the graduation ceremony, and you couldn't get together and all of this. And eventually, we just said we got a few people together and went out in the summer out to Long Island. But it was like the weirdest thing. Like they didn't get a legitimate graduation.
Yeah.
They were home.
A lot was lost. A lot was lost. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show coming up. By your request, people wanted Mrs. B, our resident mixologist, who makes Big B a drink every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really curious to go back to where this originated. And once we get her on the show, we can chat about this. But she is going to be joining us, not in video, but over Facebook Messenger today.
Yes, she does. She doesn't want to be on video. She doesn't.
I don't blame her.
She even said just before I came down, I said, remember, bring your phone, bring your headphones. DK will call you on Facebook Messenger when you bring the drink down. She looks just not on video, right? I said, no. He'll see you probably on the Facebook Messenger, but we won't be broadcasting you. It'll just be audio. So, okay.
And we have a major announcement to make at the top of the show. But I mean, how we started was audio.
Right.
Right. And then, video killed the radio star. So,
as it does.
But we're both. And the funny thing of it is, with a minute to go here before the show, we still get the majority of our listens on podcast download.
Right.
So audio is still very well alive.
For sure. But, and, to go live and be at a certain time, most people have other things going on and whatever. So, that's going to be a given that, most of your listenership will be on downloads. They can do it during the week and all that.
Absolutely. Okay, folks, the time has come. We're going to go live. Bear with us here while we press a couple of buttons that allow us to deliver audio and in the show to you. Cave Crew Radio is coming your way in just a few seconds.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start.
We have liftoff.
In 3, 2, 1.
This is Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clavin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed, it is. Cave Crew Radio, ladies and gentlemen. My name is DK. I am live in my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I am still the Earl of the alley that stinks like piss, and I'm proud of it. And it's funny, as I was listening to the intro, we went through those little sports things, and we've told you many times that this was originally supposed to be a sports show. We almost have a little bit of a sports theme tonight. Probably not what you expect. Mike Jolitz will be with us later on. We also have a very special guest, which you will find in a little bit. A major announcement, though. After all these years of doing this and bouncing around from place to place from our humble days on All Radio X, we are now going to be syndicated on alternate twist radio on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. and on Pulse Talk Radio. I was talking to him today. He doesn't have the time yet, but he's going to get it to me this weekend. So 2 new syndicates with us and our sister show, Pucks and Pints Radio. Anyway, we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, yada. Let's get on with the show, folks. We got a great show ahead for you. And a big shout out to everybody over there at Jimmy's Sports Lounge. Of course, as always.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urine Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am King B, the king of Stenchlandia and the president-elect of the United States of America.
Yeah, I always thought it was a queen bee.
And as always, the epicenter of something. This week, I am a part of the epicenter of the entire sports world, as all of New York is sports crazed. We've got the Yankees in the playoffs, the Mets in the playoffs, the Rangers season starting, the Islanders and the Devils starting, the Jets and the Giants playing well. Even the Buffalo Bills are Super Bowl contenders. I am in the epicenter of the entire sports world right
The
now.
Giants have a winning record. And who did the Jets beat last week? I just pissed myself.
I don't even remember. But yeah, they drove down the field. They were trailing and drove down the field and won. So yeah, the New York, whenever, and it's very rare that this happens. All of this is going on at the same time because usually the Jets are the worst team in the NFL and the Giants are an awful team. The Mets are usually out of the playoffs. Yankees are usually in, and then there's hockey season starting. But now everybody's in the playoffs. Everybody's playing well. Hockey season's about to start. This place is jumping with sports.
And soon you'll have the Knicks and the Nets.
I don't recognize basketball as a legitimate.
I don't either, but I mean, Blue Jays dropped today, by the way, 4-0 to Seattle, but
they did
comeback kids all year.
And I got the Met game on right now. They're starting against the Padres, so this is it's always New York is. You hear about sports towns and how sports crazed these cities are. I don't believe there's any place like New York when everybody's playing well and it's the start of new seasons and all that. New York is sports crazed, and I'm in the epicenter of it.
Yeah, and Toronto gets that way too, whether we're winning or not. But we got like preseason hockey. We're almost in the regular season. Everyone's going nuts about that. You got the teams in the playoffs. But like I was talking to one of the dudes at work today, and I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. We got preseason hockey. We're leading into regular season. Everyone's pumped up. Us Leaf fans are ready to be brokenhearted every year, but I'm ready. I'm optimistic. I'm ready for this. And then you got college football, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love college football just because of the, you're out in one game type of thing. That, like you say, basketball is not a sport. I love the NCAA tournament. It's like that Final 16 or whatever, March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And of course, you got NFL football, and probably one of the most unpredictable years. And Tampa's going to tank now because Brady's lost his girl.
I just saw something. Is the divorce official? I mean, they've been together for decades.
Well, apparently they both put in their papers. I've never been divorced, so add that to my repertoire. I have not divorced.
I have not divorced.
But I also want to tell you that Thursday night football should be known as sleeper night.
Oh my God.
Every single Thursday, the games have been shit.
Awful.
And I don't care who you cheer for or who your team is.
It's early.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So
I don't know where she's going. Hold on.
Wait a minute. I'm not ready yet either. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like my mic is getting quiet, isn't it?
No, you could.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, so we have a special event here, and you gotta give me time to bring the guest in. So I'm gonna do this.
Does not taste like a
So this
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, you got it.
Oh, we're getting an echo.
Yeah.
You're not in, are you, Big B?
In the no. I can't hear her though on coming through in my headphones. I can't hear her.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Oh, I hear her now. She's very, very low.
You hear her because she's there.
No, I can hear her in my headphones.
Okay. Test.
That's suggesting.
Oh, now I hear. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, by your request, and we're going to put Big B up on camera here. Every week, it seems, I don't know how long this has been going on. Like, she's going on camera and she didn't want to be.
Oh, I guess she is going to be on camera.
Oh, okay. Do a cheers. We've been doing these elaborate drinks. And Mrs. B, maybe you can help me. You're like a resident mixologist. How did this start?
Well, what else to do on a Friday night? That would be that much fun.
But I mean, like, when did we? What triggered this? I don't remember.
Well, I figured if everybody's going to go to hell, we might as well take the secret road. No? I figured if we're bringing Brian drinks, let's make them pretty drinks. And it's pretty much took off from there. So now we have all manner of fancy glasses and fun sugars and good stuff to put on them.
So what is this week's drink?
This week's drink is a nil wafer martini. So that is.
What is it composed of?
Vanilla vodka, vanilla liqueur, and amaretto. Sadly, none of the drinks that
I'm pulling that have
names like Snickers shots taste anything like it. They just taste like alcohol, which is okay. But I'm a little disappointed that they like it.
So, but it's not just the drink. How much work goes in to buying the glasses and where do you find these things? Is this like a Dollarama or an Amazon, or are these things you've got tucked away in a little case?
Amazon is a purveyor of many things. So on Saturday mornings, immediately after we make the drink of the week, I will go on and start hunting down the following week's drink and what booze that we have on hand and what will look cool in which glasses. And Brian rolls his eyes at me, but you see that the finished product is fun.
It's fun and it's beautiful, and I have to tell you, Big D, I think she puts more work into the show than you do.
100%. It's like I've said, it's become a thing. So now, like during the Saturday or whatever, as the weekend goes on, she'll tell me, "Oh, I ordered a specific type of glass for next week's drink," and then at some point during the week, it'll be like she'll give me options. What are you thinking for this week's drink? And like this week was the vanilla wafer with vanilla vodka and amaretto, or there was another option. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
It was a dirty Dr. Pepper.
A dirty Dr. Pepper. But so we decided to go with the vanilla wafer. And if you notice here, what she's done now, remember, like I said, this has become a thing. Remember, it used to be in those little coffee cups. Yeah. But now it's gone on to these elegant glasses.
You had little Dixie cups or whatever.
Right. It was the hot cold cups. Yeah. But now we've gone on to we're getting glassware. And if you notice here, because this is a martini, this is like gold fleck salt sugar for the glass. It's gold flecked and very fancy. So
it complements the color of the drink. You drink with your eyes as well as your liver.
See, you never brought this, Big B. This is why I wanted Mrs. B on. This is not just a drink. This is a piece of art.
That's exactly right.
I gotta tell you,
some people are crazy cat ladies. I'm going to be the crazy lady who has 7,000 fucking bar glasses.
No, that's my second question. Well, okay, I'll go to that question first, then I'll go to my original question. But I was asking Big B last week. So, where do all these glasses go?
ridiculously large in our dining room, jam-packed with glasses and booze. So
Okay.
it's way down here. Weekly shows.
Okay. So I was, and this one's really cool again this week, BB. But last week was really, oh, I don't want to be on solo.
Wait, and what is this glass called?
That's a coupe glass.
A what? A coupe.
UPE.
A coupe glass is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you remember Big B's stories, but like Mrs. B is very passionate about things like Christmas and Halloween and sunny days. Just about everything
Just
has
the
meaning.
latest thing to prevent
You're rearranging the fucking furniture. So you're very happy. There's something to occupy my hands now.
So, but I want to hear what really, I mean, they've all been awesome drinks. Like we would tease Big B as he drink with his straw at the beginning part of this. But last week's drink was really cool too.
Poison apple. I wanted to get the dry ice, but I would
probably enter myself terribly because
I am not the most what's the right word?
Coordinated?
Yes, that would be the
Now, when like when you're baking something and you kind of dip your finger in the cake batter or something, do you cheat a little bit before you serve the drinks? How many drinks do you sample before you get the perfect drink?
A chef must always sample the product that they're putting out. I don't know, it would go the same for any kind of mixologist type of person. But thankfully, I'm a cheap date, so only a sip or two will do.
That's what Big B always said to me. He says, she doesn't drink a lot, and I'm just imagining you. Oh, that's not right. Or vodka.
A lot of times she'll come down and like it'll be like this is supposed to taste like a vanilla wafer. If you remember when you were kids, you get the vanilla wafers, the vanilla cookies.
Yep.
It doesn't taste anything like that. But she'll come down with a drink, and going in, I know what it's supposed to be. And I'll be the taster. Like she'll hand it to me while we're on air, and I'll take a sip and look at her. I was like, it doesn't taste anything like what it's supposed to, but it's good. All the drinks have been good. They just don't taste like what the Snicker one was supposed to taste like a Snickers bar. Tasted nothing like a Snickers bar, but it was really good.
It tasted like milk and booze.
Yeah, it was like creamy booze. It was really good though.
But I got to let you know that like there's been multiple requests of that this should become a segment where you come on air and explain this to us. So you're extremely popular just by
Forced me to get really fancy.
Just by your hand coming across the camera with that drink. Everyone stops and waits.
We're going to expand this out into a gag where I wear elaborate bracelets now to present the drinks. This is just going to go downhill.
This could just cause you to start, instead of Saturday afternoons, you may have to start Saturday mornings.
The Amazon list is now going to grow because now it's going to be nail polish and bracelets and whatever else to go along as the hand comes in with the drink. To go along, it's going to become a hand model drink thing.
Wow.
So now when you do these like block parties or you're going to have Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas, is this going to become a routine into the house parties at all? Instead of just serving a rye and Coke, let's say.
For Brian and I, yes. So I think I'll cook up a pitcher of something for us to drink. And if Brian wants to be kind to the peasants, he can let them have this one.
Yeah, he wouldn't even share his pulled pork with anybody. I was fucking dumbfounded by it.
No, the pulled pork, the neighbors had some pulled pork. But what she did, she made this for the block party. She made this watermelon drink with this watermelon vodka.
I'm the Gallagher.
the
Ellen, you get you smashed. The Gallagher.
the Gallagher, yes.
It's my fucking humor. It's just
Yeah.
tragic.
Big B was wasted, by the way, if the food didn't turn out proper. He admitted to us by 10 o'clock in the morning he was smashed.
That's when I started drinking. That's when she made the picture of the what she's calling the Gallagher. It's a watermelon drink that gets you smashed. So like 10 o'clock in the morning, I started drinking this vodka-based drink. And, you know, I had beers and all that stuff. We went through 2 bottles of vodka, making 2 separate pictures. Because it was like by the time noon or 1 o'clock rolled around, the first picture was done. I looked there, I was like, can we have more? So we had to order Drizzly to come to the block party to bring more vodka to make more drinks.
So
The Rock is a sexy beast.
So, but here's what I'm getting, and don't get me wrong here, because I'm known as the Archie Bunker of the neighborhood. Like I told Big B if there was a block party, I would put up a fort. I'd rent a fence to keep people away from me. But you got to share when you're in this kind of atmosphere.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But Big B didn't want to. He's like, this is only the people that come to my house that I invited are. You know,
yeah, I'm not going to walk up and down the block with a tray of pulled pork or chicken or steaks. It's like, here, have some. I'm not a fucking Walmart greeter handing out samples.
But you said, I guess like Mrs. B could get you those little cardboard things, you know, that fries come in, and you could have like, here, this is from 142 North Street. Please try this and let me know what you think.
Should I?
Ryan, would you like a sample? Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Ryan. Would you like a sample?
Just don't touch my fucking Gallagher.
Should I get one of those paper hats?
Yes.
And walk around with a push cart with samples on it.
Yeah.
Yep. That and a sock over your junk. That'll make an impression.
Next block party, I'll walk around with a paper hat and a push cart.
Yeah, but next week's
And a
drink.
sock over your junk.
Next week's drink, Mrs. B, please. A sock over your junk. And excuse me.
Excuse me while he writes things down. I don't know if there's a drink for that, but what we were thinking of a drink that we have to get stuff for. It's a drink. It's a really good drink called a Purple Motherfucker.
Oh, so good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really, really good drink. I think we still have to get some stuff for it, though.
Yeah, we're at Erasmus.
No, we're not. We still have the bottle.
I don't think so. I think we're done.
See,
that only means we have to go to the greatest liquor store on earth.
Yes, I
Where I took Stu.
I can't wait to attend that.
You should post video of the greatest liquor store in the world.
Oh, I could go Facebook Live on Cave Crew when we go to the greatest liquor store on earth. That's the place where I took Stu.
Mrs. B, is that the only thing that keeps you in New York? Because I've heard before, you know, Big B wants to move to Kentucky, and you've thought of it as well because of your jobs. You could probably travel. Is it the greatest liquor store on earth that keeps you in New York?
It truly is, but one thing it doesn't have is fireworks. If we can go somewhere where we can have really great alcohol in copious quantities and fireworks at the same time, I think you'd have me.
I think across the border from Kentucky, Tennessee has lots of fireworks.
He just came back from Tennessee. He was in Tennessee the week of our anniversary.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes, I may be your neighbor. I originally wanted to go to Arizona, but I'm liking Tennessee these days.
There you go.
Don't go hang with Mike and AZ.
I would
Awesome.
trust me. It's where I want to be. I just
Arizona was awesome, and Mike was awesome, and Mike's house was awesome.
He was.
And next time he'll have a pool.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I only got to see the dugout hole.
Yeah.
He was waiting for the concrete.
And yeah, he lives in a mansion and works at a call center or something. And I have this big important job and live in a hut. I don't quite get it.
I was amazed when I walked into that house. I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me! Holy shit!" And then he took us on a tour, and it was like, "Oh, and here's this bedroom, and here's that bedroom, and here's
My
that."
17th bedroom and my trapdoor.
Right? Yeah, it was crazy. His house.
Right.
Maybe things are cheap in Arizona. We just don't realize it. But
I think we need to make a trek out there.
yeah. Well, you need to make a trek here to begin with.
Well, yes, I do need to make my way up to, and now that I have my enhanced license, that's all I need to cross the border. I need to make my way up to Canada, and we can go to Jimmy's Sports Lounge and hang out.
Yeah, we got to make it up to Jimmy's. We'll just have Bacon drive us, and we'll park all the way.
He said he would.
It's a long drive, so we'll just.
Now we have an almost naked child running around the house.
That's
It has nothing to do with the alcohol. Don't call the authorities. Oh.
It's a family affair.
So this week's drink, you like it?
It was good. It tasted nothing like a Nilla wafer, but it was good.
All right. So there you have it, folks. It never turns out quite the way you want it, but it still tastes good. Now, Mrs. B, we're going to go into the news. I don't know if you want to hang out or.
Thank you, sir. I think I will for a few. I'll hang back and finish my not quite Nilla wafer martini, but.
All right, you will get to see your husband in all his glory, because and I got to cue things up here too.
Yeah, I got to get them. Hold on.
Sometimes we're a little. I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna move over there. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Cave Crew Radio. As I announced earlier, we are now going to be on Pulse Talk Radio and Twisted. Isn't that what I call it? Twisted. I don't have my email here. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I've been so Alternative Twist Radio on Sundays at 8. Okay, I think I'm ready. Well, I got to play your thing anyway, BB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pulled it. I got it.
I got to find it.
Now, it's time for the news with our senior correspondent, the Big B.
Yes. It appears that something of old is coming new again.
Yes, this first story comes from CNN. Headline reads, How Spam Became Cool Again.
Yeah, and we're not talking like spam emails or spam phone calls. We're talking about the meat that you were handing out samples of last week.
Right, the spam food.
Yes.
The 85-year-old canned block of meat has undergone a cultural reinvention. Hormel has sold a record amount of spam for 7 straight years, and 2022 is on pace for another such milestone. The conglomerate behind Skippy and Jenny O Turkey says it can't make spam fast enough and is increasing production capacity. Spam is a trending ingredient on TikTok and on the menu at fine dining restaurants in coastal cities. It cannot be on fine. Nobody in fine dining is making spam.
So I already have so many questions, like, because, they're saying these days people can't afford, like, so it's Canadian Thanksgiving, by the way, on Monday, squantos and all that shit.
Squantos, yes.
Yeah. And we can talk about that later if you want. But anyway, people are buying turkeys. People are buying this. Butter's expensive. Margarine's $12 a tub, whatever. So is it because of this that spam is coming back? Or is it just another one of these retarded fads? I don't think I've ever tried spam.
I had spam when I was a kid. I don't remember if it was good, bad, or what. I was a kid, so I wouldn't know any better. I don't think it's a fad. I do think it's making a resurgence because things are much more expensive, and at least here in the U.S., Biden is killing our economy. So things are getting more expensive. So spam has always been the fallback because it's cheap, and it's real meat. It's just weirdly packaged. So I think that's why it's making a comeback.
So
but there's another.
Is it ham? Is that what it is?
Ish.
Or is it like a hot dog in a can?
I think it's all mixed in meats together.
Intestines, gourds.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But there could be another reason why it's making a comeback.
I can't wait.
Spam is a trending ingredient on what platform?
Oh no. TikTok.
Talk.
We need I'm going to reach out to our people and get a stinger that every time that comes up, it's a
Yes.
TikTok.
We definitely need one because it's all over the place. Spam is a trending ingredient on TikTok and on the menu at fine dining restaurants in coastal cities. In 2019, a limited edition Spam pumpkin spiced flavor sold out in minutes. You can still buy it on eBay, where it goes for $100 a can.
So we call this the poor man's lunch.
Basically.
But $100 a can on eBay, someone's making some money.
Somebody is.
So
somebody on TikTok is.
You're telling me that Spam could be bigger than Bitcoin?
I don't think it'll go that far.
Okay.
But it's a thing right now. So it says, what is behind the phenomenon? Why does the slab of cooked pork that has long been stigmatized as a fake meat linked to wartime rations, which is where it originally came from in the wartime, they didn't have Spam, and hilariously spoofed on Monty Python, now have cachet with foodies? Spam's popularity in Hawaiian, Asian, and Pacific Island cuisine has influenced its growth in the United States as more immigrants came to the United States and fusion dishes and ethnic cuisines entered the cultural mainstream. Spam has reached new, younger foodies, says Hormel. Edgy and clever advertising campaigns also have helped Spam attract a broader customer range than the baby boomers who grew up eating it.
Did anyone on the block party serve fusion Spam?
I don't know because I didn't go around to everybody. I sat at my table, drunk off of a watermelon drink, beer, and eating my own smoked meats.
Did you piss your pants?
I did not.
All right.
I was out in front of my house. I would just go to the bathroom. Spam has undergone a reputation makeover, said Robert Koo, an associate professor of Asian and Asian American Studies at Binghamton University. He's also the author of Dubious Gastronomy.
Excuse me.
I was going to write that down, but if you are, please do.
Go right ahead. No, I'm going to do it.
Dubious Gastronomy. Eating Asian in the USA. A lot of celebrity chefs have been Asian and Asian American and reintroduced Spam to a new audience.
I'm going to check out next time I'm at the grocery store a can of Spam. I've never done anything with it. I haven't put it in, hash. By hash I mean like, the breakfast potatoes. Could this be found on a pizza these days?
I guess if you get like a Hawaiian pizza, maybe you can put pineapple and Spam on it. I didn't know this was a thing. Apparently, more than 100,000 visitors stream into the Spam Museum.
And I think that's what we have on screen here.
It is every year in Austin, Minnesota, with stories to tell about Spam and recipes to share.
That was a documentary that I would watch on how they make, how do they make this or whatever that show is.
I believe it was on how it's made. I remember watching it. I don't remember what went into it. So if you look up on the Science Channel how it's made, look the Spam episode. I believe it's on there.
I'm going to find it.
Visitors most often ask Seville Lord, who is the manager of the museum, and other museum Spambassadors. I have already written that down.
Yes, that's a good one. I was going to write it myself.
How Spam got its name and what the heck is in it. Spam first hit shelves in 1937 as a 12-ounce, 25-cent, convenient and long-lasting protein in a tin during the lean years of the Great Depression. Spam contained nothing but pork shoulder, chopped ham, water, sugar, and sodium.
There you go. See, that was the answer to my original question.
There you go. It was a concoction of George Hormel and his son Jay, Meat Packers. Jesus Christ. That drink is getting to me. Jesus.
Yes, that's a strong one tonight, Mrs. B.
Fuck. Meat Packers in Austin, Minnesota. The Hormels had been working on the problem of canning a non-perishable pork product for a good many years, and at last we solved it. They offered $100 prize.
With their beakers and shit. But like, at one point do you say we need to store this in tin?
Well, back then, when you're talking about the early years, the early 20th century, everybody was trying to figure out how to maintain shelf sustainable foods, because the problem was that, you know, before refrigeration and all of this, it was only good for a very, very short period of time. So you could only sell it to local people.
Right. Unless you were salting it like they did on the
right.
island.
Yeah. Right. In order to preserve it, that you couldn't, like, you know, until refrigeration trains came, you couldn't even, you know, send it out anywhere. Once refrigeration trains came, you know, it would freeze and you could send it out. But again, it needed to be something that was shelf sustainable. So there was a lot of stuff where, you know, oh, maybe we put it in a can or whatever. So there was a lot of that going on in the time of the early 20th century. Hormel offered a $100 prize for the best name for the food. It needed to be short for display purposes and fit on one column newspaper advertisements. It also had to be pronounceable in any language.
How do you say spam in Chinese?
Spam.
I thought so. Okay.
The brother of a corporate executive threw out spam, a combination of spice and ham, at a party, and Hormel knew then and there that the name was perfect. From the beginning, spam was marketed as a time saver and a food for any meal. Spam and eggs, spam and pancakes, spam and beans, spaghetti, macaroni, and crackers. Spamwiches.
Oh, this is lovely. I need to get my hands on some of that spam.
After doing this story, you know, I may have to go out to the supermarket tomorrow and try some spam.
And will you smoke spam?
I don't think you can. I don't think that would come out good.
Well, you don't know until you try it.
I guess.
We need, between the two of us, to come up with the best spam recipe.
I will look things up.
No, that's not original.
Well, like, no, look things up as in what's it's best used in.
It's a canned meat. You can probably stomp on it but I'm thinking like throw it in the food processor, make some chili or I don't know. The possibilities are endless with this spam.
I guess. Never have you imagined a meat
best spam recipe to cavecrewradio@gmail.com, or of course the most popular place to do it on our Facebook page, Cave Crew Radio. Easy to find. We want your spam recipes. This would be a great thing for Jason Scott. He's
absolutely.
Budget.
Yes.
I wonder if he has ever tried spam.
We need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Never have you imagined a meat could turn into so many interesting uses. Morning, noon, or night, cold or hot. Spam hits the spot. That was an early advertisement for spam.
You piqued our interest, Hornell.
Spam was a miracle meat.
I imagine it would have been a treat, you know, when you're in a bunker and bombs are flowing off and you know, you don't know if you're going to see tomorrow, and you take that. If I remember right, it had those key, right? Like the little key That
Well,
would,
yeah, all the old cans, yeah, like the sardine cans and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, would that the key that would peel it off, and you break a piece, give it to your comrade, and
Right. And
you
that's what
try a piece of spam. You'd be lucky if you had a cracker to go with it.
Right, and that's what the kind of the rest of the story. I'm not going to go on because it's a very long story, but that's what kind of the rest of the story now goes into World War II in 1941 when the U.S. enters the World War II. Spam became a staple of the soldier overseas.
Do you think spam would sponsor us? I mean, we're moving up the ladder here finally.
Probably not.
It's taken us a long time, but I think spam and Cave Crew Radio are kind of we're the same thing. We're just forever.
We could go hand in hand with spam.
Yeah. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Special guests and an education on spam, which you probably wouldn't get on a regular station.
I can guarantee you're not going to get any education on spam on any other station but Cave Crew Radio.
Not a chance. Not a chance. So anyway, these stories are going to start to come together soon, ladies and gentlemen. But this next one was posted in the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group, actually. It's just a, what do we call those things? A meme.
Right.
And then we found the story of this. And the young lady, the reporter on NBC2, wherever she was from, justified this. What do we have here? Another multi-use product.
So this coming from, as everybody knows, Hurricane Ian that hit Florida recently and came up the East Coast. This story coming from the Toronto Sun. Headline reads, reporter covering Hurricane Ian defends putting condom on her microphone.
She is obviously sexually active with multiple partners. What do I have in here? I could put a baggie, like maybe I got a lunch baggie that I could. No, she's got a Magnum in her purse to cover the microphone.
Because you never know when you need one.
Right.
This coming from our favorite state in all of the world,
Florida. I didn't think we had any Florida this week, but I guess we do.
A Florida reporter had already wrapped viewers squinting at their televisions when her microphone appeared on screen. That's because Kyla Gaylor of WBBH had a condom covering her mic during a broadcast from the rainy, gusty outdoors. Gaylor was in Fort Myers, Florida, reporting on Hurricane Ian before it hit landfall when viewers became distracted by the little rubber bubble at the top of her microphone.
I was just going to say something about that, but I didn't want to say anything. This is like the sperm catcher on top of the microphone.
It's the reservoir tip.
The reservoir tip. Excuse me.
You're going to write more things down than me. The reservoir tip. While many viewers questioned the use of the prophylactic, some calling BS, others saying it was distracting, others found it hilarious. That's an above average sized microphone, one person tweeted. Another added, good luck with the expense report. A third person wrote, thank you for practicing safe reporting. Gaylor took to her Instagram stories to defend the condom use.
Wait a minute. She's not on TikTok.
She was on Instagram.
Oh, we have a competitor now.
It is what you think it is. It's a condom, Gaylor explained. It helps protect the gear. You can't get these mics wet. There's a lot of wind and a lot of rain. So we got to do what we got to do. And that is put a condom on a microphone.
You and I speaking to microphones to do what we do.
For sure.
How would the sound get through? Condoms must have come a long way since I was a kid because it was like taking a shower with a raincoat on.
Right, but they're not. They're waterproof. They're not soundproof.
Well, no, okay. I've never put a condom over my ear to test that theory. But anyway,
well, neither have I. But the purpose of a condom is to prevent liquids from escaping, or the other way.
right? I get that, but I mean, not that penises talk, but I can't imagine, like, if she's talking through that it's a thick latex.
No, I would think it would be a bit muffled,
Yeah.
but otherwise it would still be understandable. Like when you the easiest when you go to a studio, or when I would go to a studio to record, the studio had baffles on the walls, not thousands of condoms.
Right. You'd be soundproofing. And you might have a wind thing, like those screens.
Right, a windscreen.
They have holes in them. Liquid could perforate that.
Yes. Like this right here.
Yeah, exactly. What we have. These are not safe for sex, ladies and gentlemen.
No, they are not.
Don't get any ideas. You may have an accident.
Jeff Butera of
that little Henry gets through the tunnel and you're fucked.
Jeff Butera of WZVN shared a close-up shot of Gaylor's protected microphone, backing up the Emmy-winning reporter. "We practice safe hurricane reporting," he began his tweet. "Yes, it's a condom," he continued. "Nothing better to waterproof a microphone. My Waterman broadcasting colleague at Kyla Gaylor had been fielding lots of questions." He added, moment of levity in this nasty storm." So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we've got S7E TV.
What's up, guys?
What's cracking? We're available for syndication. I'm not sure where we got it. No, we're just talking about the reservoir tip.
The reservoir microphone tip. Safe broadcasting.
Yeah. Our tips for good audio, ladies and gentlemen. But you gotta admit, like, okay, it's good. You don't have an umbrella, whatever. What do I got in my purse? It's like playing Let's Make a Deal with Monty, what's his name?
Now, Monty Hall.
Monty Hall, that's it.
Now, I know people that, obviously that chase storms. I've chased storms. I see the weathermen up there. Oh, holy shit.
It's strep throat guy.
CJ Ripka. Oh my God.
I thought he died. He
fuck.
Disappeared in some flood in Minnesota, and he was living in the back of he was living in a trailer on the river.
Last we heard of him, he had strep throat or whatever was going on. He missed Believe It or What challenge. And I haven't heard from him since. I haven't even seen him on Facebook.
No, I haven't seen a post.
I'm glad you're back, CJ.
Good to see you're alive. We were really worried.
CJ is always one of my favorite guys.
Yes, and he was supposed to face Choo Choo Stew,
right?
And Believe It or What, and Choo Choo Stew ended up beating Big B. That could have been you, but
that could have been you.
Your girlfriend, who still to this day I think was Siri, told us that you were sick with strep throat. This is CJ's girlfriend.
We missed you, CJ. We love you. One of my favorite people associated with the show that we've met over the years. Yeah. I like CJ.
Maybe next season. There will be a season.
For sure. CJ, stay in touch. Hang out. Come stay for the rest of the night. Hang out and talk with us.
Yes, please. Anyway, we're on to sports, which we said, the original show was supposed to be sports. And then we, right off the bat, we didn't do sports anymore. He's so shocked to see you. It's like I just called out Beetlejuice 3 times and CJ Ripka appeared in the chat. I don't believe it's him. I think it's his girlfriend.
I haven't heard from CJ
He's disappeared like
in months.
Magic power. He's like the David Copperfield of podcasting.
The magician of South Dakota.
Yeah. Hang on.
See, you're gonna write. I only got 2 things written down so far. You probably got like 7 already. You're coming up with this show's title tonight. Let me tell you. It's good to see you, CJ. Hang out, comment, please.
We tease. So anyway, we were originally a sports show. And I think after this story, we should do Mike or whatever. But anyway,
we can, and then we'll go into the rest of sports.
We never did sports. But tonight we're going to tackle sports, if you consider fishing a sport. But we're going to tackle sports in an entirely different way.
A very different way. But this is only the reservoir tip of the iceberg.
Hey, you know what? Before we go, how does that tip hold so much of that fucking squish?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the Trojan. Wait.
Like, I mean, that reservoir tip isn't even big enough for pre-cum. But that's so. Not only does it cover a microphone, like it holds a lot out.
Wait, now I have a serious question because I'm trying to remember, and if she didn't, God bless her soul, I know she passed. Choo Choo Stew's mother, didn't she work at a condom factory?
Yes, she did.
Yes.
She worked in the condom factory.
So I think we need to ask Choo Choo Stew.
It's now a Greek restaurant or something. I forget the story, but you got to go back and listen. We've got like 300 episodes. So
right.
I don't remember all this. But yes, she did. She worked in the don't you remember how he said it?
The condom.
My mother worked in the condom factory. And I guess she would put the things down on steel. And that's how you test if they break or not, which makes them hurricane proof. I mean, scam, condoms. I see where we're going tonight with all this stuff now.
But now we segue into the world of sports.
Yes, let's go to sports.
And again, this isn't the ESPN coverage that you guys are used to.
No, but this is first you need to know.
This first story comes from NBC News. Headline reads, "We got weights in fish."
Weights in fish.
A cheating controversy goes viral on
TikTok.
Yes, very good. The world of competitive fishing is up in arms over a scandal that saw 2 fishermen accused of weighing down their catch with lead balls.
Not one fisherman.
2. What nobody
say from my corner of the universe, brilliant idea.
What nobody at the competition expected, however, was for the incident to blow up online. The latest cheating scandal to embroil the internet may also be the most viral one to date after footage circulated of the tournament director slicing open a walleye fish to reveal the weights, which would have given them the first place trophy for having the heaviest fish.
So you've watched Wicked Tuna and Deadliest Catch, and it's all about the weight, right? There's a weight of the amount of crabs they catch, the weight of the tuna, and they stick that thing in to measure the fat and all that.
Right, but that's like in Deadliest Catch, that's their profession. That's
right.
Catching the crab that we eat. That's not like sporting.
But this isn't like take your son to fish on the lake day.
No.
Professional fishers.
Right.
Or fishermen, whatever you call them.
So one video on TikTok, yes.
I'm gonna get a jingle made for that.
We have to. Received 4.5 million views and more than 225,000 likes, while another on Twitter garnered more than 130,000 likes. The latest cheating. Oh, I'm sorry. That's here we go. Also, last week, internet users watched a young poker player confront cheating accusations after betting on an unlikely hand and scoring $269,000. and the world of chess cheating. But those episodes did not seem to go quite as viral as the fish cheating video that tore up the internet over the weekend when various versions of the video were edited, remixed, and commented upon. Many from people who wondered just how they ended up deep in the world of fish talk. Hold while I write things down.
Yes, you write something down because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, how did, Buddy is fishing with Barry, and they're like, we haven't had much luck this season. We got bills to pay to dock the boat and all this shit, and we need some new gear. I have an idea, buddy. What's that, Barry? We're going to slice open the fish, and we're going to put a couple of weights inside, and then we're going to sew the fish back up.
I don't know that they cut them open because I did see the video. I didn't know what this was all about. I'm like scrolling
down their throat.
Yeah, that's what I think they did. I'm scrolling through Facebook one day and I see this fishing cheating. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I watched the video, and the video is of the guy pulling these fish out, slicing the belly open, pulling these weights out. And the one guy, you see the guy in the forefront of the picture right there.
Yeah.
He literally stood there. If you can see, for those of you watching on video, see my face. He was like stood there silently, no reaction, no comment. And you hear everybody around them. These motherfuckers cheated. Fuck them. They don't deserve this. Fuck. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to beat you up.
This could have caused like a riot.
Oh my God. I didn't know the world of fishing, sport fishing was so fucking controversial.
And then what I was hearing is one of the stories I was listening to or reading is you just overdid it. You know what I mean? Like we're sitting here and one more beer, one more. Like maybe put one weight in. Just tip it by that 1 ounce. And you've got that plastic trophy to bring home. Right?
And money. But the big thing is the money.
Is that?
So I'm not even reading on the story. So like for some reason I became embroiled with this. So they won like $30,000 or $40,000, whatever it was, for that one tournament. But previously, in like the previous year, they've won a couple of $100,000 in all the other tournaments. And all of those have now become suspect, obviously, because this one. If they didn't do it just this one time.
They're basically the Barry Bonds of fishermen.
Right. So now
it's going to be a race for the record books.
So what I saw on ESPN, this was covered on a Dan Patrick show on ESPN.
On ESPN. Okay. This is so we're on the right track covering this story.
Right.
Yeah.
That this could be a federal crime because of the amount of money that was won by cheating.
So like swindling or fraud or
like fraud. Yeah. It's fraud. It's a, I forget what exactly they use, but it is a form of fraud. So this could be a federal crime. That like these people could go to federal prison because of
they
this.
put a couple of fish weights inside of a walleye.
Yes.
In northern Ohio or wherever the fuck they were.
This controversy originated on Lake Erie walleye.
There you go, Lake Erie. Yeah,
there you go. When participants gathered around two proclaimed winners, tournament director Jason Fisher began cutting open fish and pulling out weights. Observers yelled expletives, some expressing disbelief, and others claiming they were suspicious all along. Fisher tossed the balls and the walleye fillet, padding out the fish. So not only, I remember, that's right, they would pull out these little weights. It was like, a 1 pound weight or whatever, small little weight, but they would have a fillet, a kind of like a little tiny fish fillet that would pad the weight to try to kind of mask it.
So they were stuffing fish inside of fish.
A little thin fillet wrapped around the weight, I guess, to make it easier to put down the fish's throat, but also to kind of, I guess, try to mask it. So if it's cut open, they just see the other fillet, kind of like, oh, this is what the fish ate type thing.
These guys should be the next Batman villain in the next movie. the next Batman movie. There's far too much thought going into.
They went all in. We got weights and fish, he yelled as the crowd erupted in outrage.
Is that in the rule book, or is it now?
Oh, I have no idea.
Did he get out the fish rule book and start flipping to page B91?
Well, I would assume, like in baseball, if you put cork in the head of your bat, that's illegal, right? Because you're speeding up the.
Heard of anyone putting a weight in a fish until now?
Neither have I, but it's the same concept of putting cork in your bat.
Now I'm wondering if people are putting jet fuel in their race cars, and maybe a running back for maybe that's the success of the New York Jets is they're wearing those running shoes where the wheels pop out.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, and they're like they get that extra 5 yards.
So in the fishing competition,
everything now.
Obviously, in the fishing competition, it's based upon weight of the fish that you caught, not the amount, but it's based upon the weight. So they're putting weights in there to weigh them to make them heavier. Troy Krause, a Wisconsin fishing guide who watched but didn't compete in the tournament, screen recorded a video he found of the chaos unfolding and uploaded it to TikTok.
Yes.
Where he thought maybe a couple of thousand people would see it. Instead, it got nearly 7.5 million views.
That man from the audience is now a social influencer.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
I got comments like, how do I get on Fish Talk? I don't even like fishing. But they're so invested in the story.
Time, buddy.
They're so invested in the story and want to know what's going on. And it's just crazy, Krause said. Even his brother in New Zealand called after seeing the situation on the news. Jacob Runyon and Chase Kaminsky, the two fishermen involved in the scandal, would have walked away with a prize of about $30,000. Instead, they were disqualified from the tournament and now are being investigated by Ohio's Department of Natural Resources.
This is huge. So this is like what happens in Fish Club stays in Fish Club.
Right.
Yeah.
Runyon and Kaminsky did not respond to requests from comment. And that's basically
the end of it. That holy jeez. Should we run over to Jolitz for a second?
Yes, and then we'll pick up the rest of the sports.
And then we'll give you a chance to
I gotta get another beer.
I gotta find Jolitz. I don't think I uploaded them. Okay, you get a beer. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I made a faux pas and I have to find out Mike Jolitz poster here, but I know it's here somewhere. I've got everything on file. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Cave Crew Radio right here on cavecrewradio.com every Friday, at 8 o'clock. And now on Pulse Talk Radio and Twisted Alternate Radio. What a cool name. All right, so we're going to take out the news of the weird for a second. We do have more coming up. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most talented men in the business who graces us with his presence every week, Mike Jolitz.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Kia ora, guten konnichiwa, bitches.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. Oh, man. How are you guys doing? Hello, DK. Hello, Sir Big B. And hello to Mrs. B. Hope you guys are all well. Hope the show is going along well as well. Or something. I don't know. Why did I say that twice? Alrighty, guys. Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches. Alrighty, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. The LGBTQ XYZ movie Bros sure had a bad opening weekend. Yeah, the movie about two dudes falling in love only took in $5 million. The budget was over $25 million.
What just happened there?
Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. Oh, man. How are you guys doing? Hello, DK. Hello, Sir Big B. And hello to Mrs. B. Hope you guys are all well. Hope the show is going along well as well. Or something. I don't know. Why did I say that twice? Alrighty, guys. Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches. Alrighty, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. The LGBTQXYZ movie Bros sure had a bad opening weekend. Yeah, the movie about two dudes falling in love only took in $5 million. The budget was over $25 million.
Okay. Something strange.
We're having issues
in Mike Jolitz's news. I don't know what happened. It is not on our end.
Ooh, it's on the file that he sent over.
I can try one more time here, but let's see here. Maybe this will.
Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. Oh, man. How are you guys doing? Hello, DK. Hello, Sir Big B. And hello to Mrs. B. Hope you guys are all well. Hope the show is going along well as well. Or something. I don't know. Why did I say that twice? Alrighty, guys. Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, bitches. Alrighty, guys. It is now time for Mike Reads the News. The LGBTQXYZ movie Bros sure had a bad opening weekend. Yeah, the movie about two dudes falling in love only took in $5 million. The budget was over $25 million.
No, it's in the file. It is not my fault.
Interesting. All right, then.
Mike Jolitz, I apologize. I tried 3 times.
Your file has some issues.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
By the way, have you noticed the T-shirt?
Oh, hang on. Let's get you. You're back to one of my old favorites. Vote for Sir Big B. All these shirts, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, are available if you click the merchandise link on cavecrewradio.com. We have all of them. I'm not wearing one tonight, but we have about 10 different versions. I'm so shaken by the fact that Mike Jolitz's file, he's never done that to me before. Not that he.
No, not at all.
I'm not saying he did anything.
You got to give me a second because now I wasn't expecting this.
We're dumbfounded by all this. It's getting closer to Halloween.
Okay, I have this story, and then we have a follow-up to this story.
Right. This is getting into our sports, keeping up with the fishing. I saw this, by the way. I was up late enough to watch this.
All right. I saw it afterwards. Like I saw replays of it. Next story comes from foxsports.com. Headline reads, "He knew he fucked up. NFL star flattens clown fan as reigning champs suffer reality check." I have to fast forward because a lot of this is the game recap.
Right.
Give a shit about the game recap. So give me
It's
1 second. I passed it. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. After the game, after the recap. So there was this was in the second quarter, I guess. So I'll pick it up at the end of the story. A spectator ran onto the field in the second quarter with a device emitting pink smoke and was flattened by a hit from Rams linebacker Bobby Wagner near the LA sideline.
Smashed him.
You don't know what that fan got or what they're doing, Wagner said of the incident postgame. You see it all the time, and we don't know what they're carrying in their pockets. It's whatever that little smoke stuff is, but that shit could be dangerous. That was awesome. That was a great hit, added 49ers tight end George Kittle.
So
well, that's
basically
it
what
as far as
happened
the
is,
story goes. There's some Twitter comments on there. That's it as far as the story goes. So basically, what happened was there was a fan. Fans run onto the field all the time. Baseball, football, whatever. Fans run onto the field all the time. And this time he had some pink smoke thing coming around.
It was like a gender reveal party or something.
That's what initially people thought. It was a gender reveal party. Turns out it wasn't, and we will get to that in a second.
Okay.
But again, these players don't know what these fans mean. They don't know what they have in their pockets. They don't know what their fans are going to do. So what Bobby Wagner does,
you read all these stories about open shooters in different places. They walk into workplaces. And I mean, some of these football players are a little cuckoo too. I don't blame the guy.
But this is like, obviously fans are not allowed on the field of play in any sport.
No, at all.
At all. So this is obviously trespassing. You're running onto the field. You don't know if you're going after a certain player. You could be an obsessed fan that has a death wish. You don't know what's going on. So one of the players, Bobby Wagner, who's been in the league for many, many years, as security was running after the guy, and many players over the years, players have done this themselves. They take it upon themselves, tackle the guy, hit the guy, whatever, knock him down so security can get him off the field. They want to get this guy away from the field as soon as possible.
A bad game, and he needed to take it out on someone.
They want to get this guy away from the field as soon as possible. They don't know what he is, what he plans to do. So, I have to get to it now. Hold on.
Stop the press. We have breaking news.
Yeah, we got some breaking news on this one.
So coming from ESPN, the headline reads: protester flattened by Rams Bobby Wagner files a police report.
Oh, geez.
The fan who ran onto the field during the Los Angeles Rams loss at the San Francisco 49ers on Monday night filed a police report against Rams linebacker Bobby Wagner. Shortly before halftime at the game at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, a fan ran across the field with what appeared to be a device letting out pink smoke. Rams linebacker Takarist McKinley came toward the person, and then Wagner stepped in and laid him out with a big hit. Santa Clara Police Department Lieutenant Quang Fan confirmed to ESPN on Wednesday that the police report was filed Tuesday afternoon because this is an active investigation. Information will be limited. According to TMZ Sports, the individual is an activist for Berkeley, California-based animal rights group Direct Action Everywhere, and was trying to raise awareness for a trial involving the alleged theft of pigs from a factory farm. I like Bobby Wagner even more now for laying this fucking idiot out. Wagner said Wednesday he's aware of the police report, but that the incident is behind him. Can't really focus on it, Wagner said. I'm more concerned about the security guard that was hurt trying to chase him. You just got to do what you've got to do. Wagner reiterated Wednesday that as players, you never know what that person has in their hands or their pockets when they're on the field. There's consequences for your actions, Wagner said, and he's 100% correct.
Yes. First you're kneeling to the national anthem. Now you're running around because a pig got taken from a farm. How do you think we got spam?
Right. When asked what he thought about the police report, Rams coach Sean McVay said, I think that we all know where Bobby's intentions were, and I support Bobby Wagner. That's where I am with that. I don't think anybody will disagree. I agree 100%. I'm with Bobby Wagner as well. That's the problem with these activists. They interfere with things they shouldn't be into. They commit crimes, and they think they should not be held accountable. As Bobby Wagner said, there are consequences for your action. Your dumbass wants to run across the football field. You're going to get hit by men that weigh 350 pounds, are steroid-ridden monsters that want to kill you.
But here's the thing. How am I, the guy at home, who may support the direct action activists, to know what this protest is about? Like at least normal protesters hold a sign up. It's my baby, not yours, whatever. How am I to know that this is what that guy was protesting?
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody thought, like you said, it was a gender reveal prank or whatever it was. But again, you're trespassing on the field of play. Not one person is ever allowed on a football field, a baseball field, an ice hockey rink, soccer field, whatever, a basketball court, whatever it is, a spectator is never, ever allowed on the field of play.
Right. I agree. And here's the deal. Like, people are paying good money for this. It's on national television. I'm beginning to wonder how these people squeak through the fucking security. Because, like, I get into the rink or the game, wherever I'm going. I got to empty my pockets. I got to, are you carrying a knife? No, I'm not carrying a knife. I got a metal detector. Oh, it's a key. Here you go. Take your hat off. How the fuck does this happen?
I don't know. And I'm sure, security at the field, whatever field they were playing at, will have to answer for that.
I can't get in with shit right through the gate. How do you get in with the pink smoke?
No idea.
I'm sure you don't buy that at a vendor stand.
Right. They're not selling that with hot dogs and pretzels.
Right. You get a T-shirt or a flag or a number one hand or something. But
get Bobby Wagner jersey and a pink smoke thing.
Yeah. So above all, I mean, I'm with you. He's not guilty. But
no, of course not.
My main underlying theme of this is, how the fuck did he get that far?
Right. And yeah, that's something security has to answer for.
But anyway, another football story, ladies and gentlemen, coming your way. This is very close to me at Ford Field in Detroit.
But again,
also a televised game.
Again, we cover sports like no other place. This coming from the New York Post. Headline reads, Seahawks DK Metcalf carted off field to use the bathroom. Wouldn't have made it, quote unquote.
This is where they take, look at the equipment on here. This is where they take guys that have been stretchered out.
Right.
Broken legs. Neck injuries.
Yep.
This guy's got a shit.
DK Metcalf just needed to use the bathroom. Badly. During the fourth quarter of Seattle's 48-45 win over the Lions in Detroit on Sunday, the Seattle star wideout was carted off the field to the lavatory. Sideline reporter.
This for a minute, right? He's a star wideout.
Yes.
Scores 41-31.
45, 48, 45.
But it's not that good a lead.
Right.
It's a close game.
It's a close game.
Shit your pants.
Sideline reporter Jen Hale broke the news to viewers just in case they thought Metcalf suffered an injury, and he appeared to confirm it after the win. That clinch walk wouldn't have made it.
I would have just told reporters I was day to day. Here we go. I would have just told reporters I was day to day. I would never admit that. And wait a minute. To these guys, so these games are usually what, 3.5 hours long. They're drinking Gatorade, and I know they're sweating a lot, but do they never have to piss or shit? Do they just pee themselves?
I would assume, everything gets taken care of at halftime. Or if you're on offense and the defense is on the field, you can run into the locker room and take care of what you got to take care of, and then come out for, when the offense is back on the field. Apparently, DK Metcalf couldn't make it.
He's going to be famous for a really weird thing. You're telling me this is not on TikTok?
Doesn't say anything about TikTok.
No.
It says Metcalf had 7 catches for 149 yards during Sunday's game, was targeted just once after the bathroom break.
I wonder if he wet farted when he caught that ball.
I don't know.
Like, this has to be a major shit.
Yeah, it's got to be like your stomach has grumbled and turned, and you
were telling me when you were in the Uber or whatever, when you were in the band.
Oh, on the bus, and I was sweating balls. Yeah, oh yeah.
And you ran into the guy's house, and the first thing to do was shit.
Yes, well, yeah, it's got to be one of those things where, you ain't whatever the distance is from where you are on the sideline to the locker room to the bathroom. You ain't gonna make it. You need the cart to come out.
Let's be honest about this, BB. You've been to football games. That's a long way. Like, seriously, if you got the shits, that is a long way from the 50-yard line.
It is, but I don't know. Like once they get in the tunnel, I don't know where they go or whatever. I'm assuming it's much longer than we would think. In order for him to be carted off.
I'm surprised about this. I think further research is needed because, well, the Super Bowl's been going on since what, 67 or 66, whatever.
Right.
But football's been going on long before that. And we've never had an emergency like this. And of course,
not one that's been publicized the way this has. I'm sure over the years there has been, but nothing that's been publicized like this.
You know that little tent that the kicker practices?
Yep.
You think you could like get in there and excuse me, I'm really sorry. I know it's going to smell.
Maybe you put porta potties on the field.
I'm surprised they don't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm surprised this has never happened before. Freaking out at my favorite team. Oh my God, he's lying down. He's sick. He could have a broken neck. God, I'm praying for him. He's got to use the washroom.
He's got a shit.
That fucking Joe Theismann broken leg on Monday Night Football was never real.
He just had to shit.
This is like landing on the moon. It was all fake.
Oh my goodness.
He had to use the washroom. And what would have happened? Well, they're driving him down the tunnel. If some guy like really would have had like a cardiac arrest or something, and these guys weren't available.
Right. They needed the cart for a real injury,
right.
And they're busy taking him to go take a shit.
So there's your lawsuit. Never mind the guy that tackled the direct action activist.
Right.
All right. I think we have one more.
We do, and it's right along the same lines.
It's
not sports related,
but it ties in.
It does tie in. The final story of the night becomes
from that guy.
The final story of the night comes from the leftist-leaning liberal piece of shit Huffington Post. Headline reads, Little Nas X pauses concert due to pooping.
What, you know, in the olden days when we used to eat unhealthy, and all this, vegetarian and cover your food groups, I don't think Tom Jones or Conway Twitty ever left the show because they had to shit. And Joe Namath might have worn nylons, but I don't think he ever shit himself on the field.
I can tell you, I've played hundreds of shows over my 10 years in the music industry. Never once did me, any of my band members, any of the members of any other bands that we played with stop the show to go shit.
Not so much as a wet fart.
Not that I know of, at least.
Okay.
And with all the people we played with over the years, that would have been announced because that would have been a thing.
So here you are with this guy, and I'll let you get to the story. You know how much tickets cost these days. You're probably paying well over 100, 150 a ticket to see this guy do what he does.
Right.
And he announces he's got a shit.
He apparently talked to him while he was shitting.
Oh, jeez. I'm FaceTiming you on the big screen from the John.
Little Nas X was very truthful with fans in Atlanta this week when he had to briefly pause his show. I'm backstage, and this is like not part of the show, but I'm taking a mean shit. He can be heard saying on a video tweeted by a fan account, Little Nas X News. So please forgive me, but I'm going to need like a minute or two. So he's announcing that he's shitting.
Yeah. I'm sitting on the toilet, and now, again, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a look inside my private life. Like when I go into that moment, it's kind of private.
Right.
It's not a moment of voyeurism.
Right.
Right. You need to do it. It feels good when it's done. You go do it. You're not announcing it on loudspeakers to the block party.
Right.
Big B is no longer smoking meat and drinking watermelon vodka. I am taking a mean shit.
I'm sure everybody at the block party would have loved to have been informed of that. The industry baby singer who had 2 shows in Atlanta this week, one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday, wasn't immediately clear which show the video was from. But Little Nas X took the clip in good humor, sharing it on his own Twitter account and adding even more details on Friday. LMAO.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry from section 102, row 5, seat B, has gone to take a number 2. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
They're very interested. LMAO, people really thought I was joking. I was literally back there dropping demons into the toilet. Hold while I write things down.
Those magic mushrooms mixed with fentanyls inside a hash brownie were really causing chaos on my bowels. Oh, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not quite sure what just happened. Could you imagine going to see Britney Spears? Excuse me, this is not part of the show. I'm changing my tampon.
That time of the month, I've bled everywhere. I need a tampon.
I was leaking through my white pants. More embarrassing than that woman that flopped a tit at the Super Bowl. The Jackson girl.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
So Twitter, of course, had a reaction. One person tweeted, I always wondered, what do performers do when they have had a bad stomach during a show? Do they just pretend and fight for their life, or would they leave and take care of said business? Thank you for providing answers.
Like what? So like what? Like the bottom of the stage open and he ran down the stairs.
Well, yeah, wherever it is, however you get backstage.
And while he's pulling his pants down, he's queuing up FaceTime.
I guess.
Making sure he has a Bluetooth connection so the entire audience hears him.
Another Twitter person said, add this to the list on how I love Little Nas X for being a real person. Everybody poops. There's even a book about it.
Sure enough, there is. But, oh, man.
And that's it.
So you're probably selling $100,000 worth. I think you could have held that mean shit.
Just my wife had left, obviously. She's no longer on the show. But she had just texted me a Halloween cocktail that may be called the Event Horizon.
Ooh. Well, she's got a few weeks, so
she does have a few weeks. So, like I said, this is what I deal with now. I get messages all the time about drinks and glasses that we're going to buy and all of this.
But part of the gig is that for us to be able to do this show, we need buy-ins from our spouses.
Right.
So if it derails our personal life along the way, it's the price we got to pay.
No, I think she's very into this now that she's a part of this.
Well, I could tell.
Oh, she wouldn't.
I could tell before she was even on the show that you went from that little fucking Dixie cup with a straw to every week you've got like goblets and fucking beakers and.
Oh, right. She'll never admit it, but she's into this being a thing.
Yeah.
That's why she's buying the glasses. She's coming up with different drinks. She's trying to figure out how to make this bigger and better each week. She won't admit it, but she's into this.
I think you're going to be like sitting in a dunk tank one day and someone's going to throw a ball and you're going to submerge yourself in the drink.
Right. It's going to get to that point eventually.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be like a WrestleMania. All right.
Can I just say before we leave, the Padres are kicking the shit out of the Mets right now.
That's not good. And I hope
it's 6-0. Holy crap.
Well, Scherzer's not pitching, I hope.
Yes, he is.
Oh, jeez.
Scherzer's getting hammered.
Yeah, well, the Blue Jays lost too, so maybe they'll come back.
6-0, top of the fifth. Scherzer's still in the game. Mets are getting hammered tonight.
All right. Whoa. Someone just fell off their chair upstairs. Okay. I've only got a few, and I know you started writing down more after me.
You should have like 9.
I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got fusion spam.
Okay.
A dubious gastronomy. Did I say that right?
Gastronomy.
Yeah. A dubious gastronomy. Direct action activist.
Mm-hmm.
I've got reservoir tip. I've got the magician of South Dakota.
Oh.
But my all-time favorite was very early in the show when Mrs. B was with us, and it was simply a sock over my junk.
Oh, there you go.
My favorite from the entire show. I think you probably only wrote down 4.
5.
5. Okay, you only wrote down more than I thought. All right, I'm ready.
First one would obviously be a show note, way too long to be a show name. That clinch walk wouldn't have made it. Once you are done, please let me know.
I am ready.
Next up, going to the spam conversation, I had Miracle Meat.
Oh, good one. Next.
And again, talking about spam, the Spambassadors.
Oh, that was good too, yes.
I like that. That was my favorite until something else came up.
Okay.
Now this next one would be my favorite for a show name, but I think it's just a touch too long. So it's absolutely perfect for a show note. Dropping demons into the toilet.
Yeah, that was good. That is a good show note, though.
It's now 7-0. They hit another home run. Jesus Christ. Scherzer's getting hammered.
Okay.
And my entry could only be one thing. What do we talk about every week? What platform do we talk about every week? TikTok. But no. This time we talked about Fish Talk.
Fish Talk.
That's my entry.
Spelled Fistock.
No, T-O-K. There's no C.
Oh. All right. It's a sock over my junk or fish talk.
I like them both.
Fish over my junk is probably a good show. Or sock over my junk. Sorry. I thought of the fish.
You combine them.
We'll go with Fish Talk. It's a good, quick show name. But definitely a sock over my junk is a show.
Yes, that's a very good name.
Yeah. And we need to hear more about that at a later point.
Well, I think, again, this has become a thing, so I'm sure she will be back on maybe sooner than you think, probably.
I apologize. I don't know what happened with the download or Mike's recording. I'll talk to him and apologize to him as well. I'm sure he'll be back next week. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I've had a long week, and we got to recover from our yellow phlegm flu. So we'll see you Monday if you're hockey fans. If not, we'll see you next Friday.
Later.
Thanks for joining us.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here! Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
We are going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.